All right. Hey, everyone. How's it going? Happy 8 p.m. It is Monday, January 8th here in the Los Angeles area, specifically Orange County. And we are doing another live here. And today's conversation is how do we stay focused when we start feeling overwhelmed, when we start feeling anxious, have those feelings of anxiety. Sometimes it can be very challenging to stay on top of our work, especially when it just seems like we have so much to do. And one thing that I've kind of realized more recently is that when we are when we feel that anxiety from overwhelm, when we have so much going on in our lives, the feeling of anxiety makes it even more difficult to get work done. This is a little bit of my opinion. I don't have the scientific data for it, but again, this is kind of based off my own opinion of like, how do I say this? Of my own life experiences. So today was a perfect example. Today I had a day where, how do I say this? I just felt like there was so much to do. In the past, like yesterday, I did a good job staying calm, and then the anxiety came up again. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to work on this. I got to do this. I got to do this, and it got to a point where I got so overwhelmed that I didn't want to like. It's not that I didn't want to do anything, but it was like this. I started uh, almost subconsciously or not knowingly creating a lot of resistance towards getting things done. Like I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, like let's do this, let's crush today. And what I realized is what caused a lot of my overwhelm was not staying focused, not having very, very clear defined goals of what I want to accomplish today. I had pretty clear goals today. So let's see, like some of my goals, what was it? I don't remember off the top of my head. Can I look at them? I think they might be on my calendar here. So today I was going to focus on kind of brainstorming what are going to be my speech topics that I want to really develop today. So I got to come up with the speech ideas. I got to create outlines for them and get them down. But I think what created a lot of my resistance, what created this feeling of overwhelm, was the fact that my goal was way too big. So, yes, the goal could be completed, but what created a lot of this overwhelm was the fact that, there's a part of me that's like, I don't know what it is. Is it my ego? Like, what is it? But there's a part of me that's like, oh, I could do it. I could handle it. And then guess what? Like that time period, I scheduled an hour to an hour and a half to get it done. And guess what? The hour and a half passed by. It didn't get done. And then I noticed that like I'm gonna go this way. My calendar was all a bunch of blanks, a lot of blank space, like 3 hours passed by and I didn't get the work done. And I realized I was starting to create this resistance towards getting work done because the task seemed so daunting to me. It seemed so, how do I say this? It just seems so heavy to me. So I guess in a way, how do we stay focused when we start feeling overwhelmed? I believe, based off kind of my experience of today, is I believe the secret to staying focused while feeling overwhelmed is by focusing on. I think there's a few things here. Number one is focusing on one task at a time. By the way, I got to give credit to my girl Christine, who kind of like helped me out and helped me realize this today. So credit goes to her, not me. And let me see here. So here's the situation of me today. I was feeling really overwhelmed. Like at this point, I'm just like, oh goodness, like I don't know what to do. Like I don't know how to get back on track. I don't know how to stay focused and keep doing what I need to do. And so a few things happen. Look, at this point, I already have a to-do list. I already know what's my most important thing, but I was still feeling overwhelmed. What's going on with that? So what I realized is a few things. Number one is, again, simplify. Like focus on one thing at a time. And when I was told this before, like, hey Richard, just focus on one thing at a time, I would listen, but it wouldn't register in my mind. What does that really mean to focus on one thing at a time? And then I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'll focus on one thing, and then I'll focus on one thing, and guess what? My mind will get distracted and start doing something else. It's like very, whatever you want to call it, like ADD or whatever. It's just I focus on one thing, and my mind's like, oh, look, hey, this, and I start working on this thing because it's more entertaining or less pressure. It's more comforting to work on this thing versus the main task that I have to do. So, um, going back to focus on one thing. So, I think some people watching this already get this. This is kind of new to me because we're all learning in different ways. For me, it's like when I'm working, I will do work. But if someone messages me, whatever, emails me, texts me, or sends me a message, I get notifications, right? So I'll look at the notification and then I'm like, oh shoot, I should respond back to them. So what I realize is that no, let's not. One thing I learned is, like, I was trying to set up a meeting with someone for tonight, so I'm like, oh, I should respond back to them so I'm not late. But what I realized is focus on the work in front of you, and then schedule responding back to messages on your to-do list later. That's what I learned from Christine. So with that, really, when we how do I say this? When we organize our time, what that does for us is it will how do I say this? It will remove the mental distractions from us not focusing on the one thing. So again, I believe the solution, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you want to stay focused, this is where a little bit of discipline comes into play, and I'll teach you some techniques very briefly, and I'll give you some backstory with the techniques of why they work / why they might not work. Okay, so stay focused, one task. Forget anything else. Don't respond to messages. Don't check social media. Nothing. Just focus on one task and get that done before moving on to a second task, and go in order. So again, I'm going to pretty much this whole stream today. I'm just going to say once this whole stream today. A lot of what I'm going to share with you is techniques that I've learned from my girl Christine, the girl that I'm dating, and let's see here. So one thing, there's a technique. If you're on the Own Your Life Challenge call just right before this, you heard me talking about this. There's a technique called the Pomodoro method. It's this idea where you set a timer for 25 minutes. It's like a Pomodoro, like the tomato, like the kitchen timer. Yeah. They're usually like 30-minute timers. Anyway, so the Pomodoro method is you set a timer for 25 minutes, and for 25 minutes, all you do is exactly that one task that you say you're going to do. So again, you create a long, whatever, to-do list of everything that you need to do today. And you try to guess in a 25-minute period, what do you plan to accomplish? So let's say you could accomplish only one task in a 25-minute period. So you plug it in. But let's say the task takes more than one Pomodoro, or more than one session of 25. So you do session 1, 25 minutes, and then you take a break for 5 minutes. That's part of the Pomodoro method. And then after your break, you go back to doing another 25-minute chunk. So the idea is remove distractions, like just focus on one task. So essentially the strategy here is, if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, like, I got so much to do, don't worry about the 100 things that you have to do. Make a to-do list so it's off your mind. You know exactly what you need to do. Rank them, sort them in order of priority. What's the most important? You take the first priority, you plug it in first, you focus on for 25 minutes, and that's all you focus on. Another thing is, let's say messages, whatever you want to say, urgent messages that you get, or text message that you feel like you should respond to. During the 25-minute period, do not respond to your messages. Oh goodness, this is all, I'm giving you information based off what I learned in one day. So take it with a grain of salt. It might not be completely accurate, but based off today's results, it seems like it's working pretty well. So so 25 minutes of work, you get a 5-minute break, where my recommendation, you could feel it out for yourself. My recommendation is to just chill, like just let yourself not focus on work, because you're going to burn yourself out if you're thinking about it. During your 5-minute break, you can, how do I say this? In addition, in your 5-minute break, you can take some of that time to plan out your next 25 minutes of what you want to accomplish. How many of those checklist items you can fit into your second 25-minute slot. What else? Planning takes some time. So what I found helpful for myself is, first of all, the 5 minute break to me is kind of important. Like you want to relax, so you're not just constantly focusing on working. Like so, 5 minutes of pure break is important. So what I do is, I set a timer for 5 minutes to. That's kind of like the time I'm allowed to schedule in the next 25 minutes. And then what I do is once I'm done scheduling, I reset the timer, you know, for my actual 5 minute break. That way I have a full 5 minutes. So that's how I'm scheduling my thing. Hey, Peter, good to see you on, brother. Um, let's see. I see your comments, Adiola. I'll read in just a second. So simplify, like one task at a time. I know I've repeated that multiple times already, but just focus on one task at a time. I feel like that's the best way to not feel overwhelmed. So today, I wasted half of my day feeling overwhelmed. Like I was kind of doing work, but it was not productive because I was so overwhelmed. I just felt like the task was so big. The elephant is so big, you know. And there's a saying that many of you probably heard of, which is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So an elephant is big. How do you eat it? You eat it one bite at a time, one little baby step at a time. Okay, so if something is giving you anxiety and pressure, like it feels too much, I think the strategy is uh, break it down even more. Like I remember, I think this is an Eat That Frog, the book. It's a productivity book, and I think it just says like break tasks down to insultingly small pieces. Like the point is, I think anxiety. This is my opinion. Don't quote me on it, but my opinion is, I believe anxiety decreases productivity a lot, and anxiety is not helpful to our productivity. And when I say anxiety, I feel like there's a little bit of a positive anxiety and a negative anxiety. I think most of the time it's a negative anxiety. It's that anxiety that's like makes us feel really nervous. That like, oh shoot, it's not only like, oh, we got to get a lot of work done. It's more like, oh shoot, we I have to get a lot of work done, and this is overwhelming. That feeling of overwhelm, I believe, is highly unproductive. I believe that emotion, that stress holds us back. It clouds our mind from actually thinking clearly. So, again, this is my opinion. You could prove me wrong. But my belief, based off my experiences, is uh, again, when you do one thing at a time, it puts you in a more clear space, and you could focus on getting that one task done. And I believe by removing distractions, that's what creates the productivity. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not saying I'm right or wrong. That's just my opinion. So there we go. Alrighty. Let's see here. Adiola says, yeah, I tend to get paralyzed when I have many tasks to do. So yeah, let's see. EU stress is a good stress. Let's see. EU stress? Not clear on that one. Alrighty. NJ Grant says, sorry, man. And then are you available on Saturday? Saturday for what? What does that mean? Tell me more. I need some details. Pretty much my schedule, my life right now is 7 days a week of work. And when I say work, I don't mean stressful work. I mean work that's enjoyable, but a little bit stressful. But I do what I do because like I enjoy it. I love it's fun going through this whole journey of being a motivational speaker or youth inspirational speaker. I have a lot of fun. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have a lot of fun doing what I'm doing. So anyway, in my free Saturday, you could check. Let's see. By the way, for anyone who's interested to figure out like when I'm streaming, the general idea is I stream every single day. There are a few days, like if I'm busy at night, like I have an event going on, then I won't stream. If you want to check out my streaming schedule, it's posted on my YouTube channel. So for anyone who's on Facebook right now watching this, if you go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/RichardKuo Live, at the very top, it should say upcoming streams. and if you just click on it, it'll show you all the days that I'm streaming. And it'll even show you the days that I'm not streaming. It'll say like no stream, no live stream today. So yeah, you'll know. But yes, I will be here on Saturday. Alrighty. Fleeing H says, "Hey man, I'm feeling pretty stressed at the moment because I recently received a pricey gift from my parents that I don't deserve, and I have exams tomorrow that I need to do well on. If I don't earn my gifts, I feel spoiled." Okay. So, Fleeing, that's a really cool. I don't know. I almost want to say that's a really cool problem to have. I love that you have a feeling of how do I say this? You feel like you're being spoiled. To me, I feel like that's a very it's it's a it's a tough feeling, but I feel like it's also a healthy feeling. I think if you feel spoiled, that's usually a sign of away from feeling entitled. You know, it's like if you feel like you don't deserve something, this is a little bit challenging here. So there's two parts to this. If you don't feel like you deserve something, number one, it could either be one, you're just getting super spoiled by your parents, or number two, you have low self-esteem or low self-worth. Like you don't feel like you deserve it. So I don't know which one you are. I'm hoping it's more the you just don't feel like you deserve it because you're being spoiled versus the self-esteem or self-worth one. Anyway, so how do you deal with this one? For anyone who has ever received a gift that they don't feel like they deserve, I've felt that too. Sometimes I got people in my life like freaking giving me things. I'm like, yeah, like what? I feel bad. Like I didn't really do anything to deserve this. So, Fling, I'm gonna guess you're in that case of you receive something, whatever. Let's say it's a freaking I'm gonna use a car. Let's say you got a car and you're like, why'd you give this to me? Like I appreciate it, but I don't, like I didn't do anything to deserve it. So anyway, if you feel like you got a gift and you feel a little bit spoiled about it, if you could, can you do, number one question is, can you do something about it? I love this. There's that little diagram. Are you feeling stressed? The first question is, can you do something about it? Yes or no? And then it's like, yes, you can do something about it. Okay, go do something about it. Therefore, you have no worries. And then, can you do something about it? No, you can't do anything about it. Okay, then stop worrying about it. I love this. I don't know if I don't know if anyone has ever seen that. I'm sure some of you have. It's a little diagram of like why we should never ever stress in our life. Again, I'm just gonna repeat that because I think it's a hilarious, like it's the most genius thing I've ever seen. So, are you stressed about something? Yes. Can you do something about it? Yes. Do something about it. No. If you can't do anything about it, then stop stressing out. You can't do anything about it. And then the other one is, if you're not stressed out, then perfect. You're not stressed out. So anyway, going back to you, Fling. Here's my thought on this. If you could whatever, give it back, return it, do something about it, then you could try. Or like, hey, mom, dad, whatever. I really, really appreciate this gift. And, I'm super grateful that you did this. And about the gesture, I don't feel like I deserve it. And whatever, I'm going to respectfully decline it for myself. I love that you got it for me, but I'm going to respectfully decline it because I want to work for I want to earn my own money to get these kind of things, and I don't want to be spoiled. Like I want to be more independent. So that's option number one. Or option number two, in my opinion, is let's say you get a gift and the second option is just receive. Let's say you can't return it. There's nothing you can do about it. Your parents are just being nice. Your gift giver is just being nice. And the best thing you can do is just receive, like even if it makes you feel a little uncomfortable, just say like, hey, thank you very much. And totally unnecessary, but I appreciate your gesture so much, and just thank you. I appreciate it, and just receive. That's it. Same thing with compliments. That's something I think a lot of us struggle with is receiving. I don't know how many. I don't know the percentage. I think some people love gifts and they just expect gifts, and I think a lot of us, I fall on that side of like I don't like receiving gifts like please don't get me anything type of thing, just like if you know the 5 love languages, receiving gifts is my lowest one of the 5. It's like I don't like receiving gifts. So anyway, but I'm learning to receive, because if someone gives you something, they give you something, or they should be giving you something because they choose to give you something, not because they want some sort of emotion out of you or validation. If someone gives you something, it should be out of choice. And so you receiving a gift is really, you shouldn't feel bad because it's their choice. They're creating the choice to give to you because they want to. So just receive. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's do this. Alex Washington says, I can't seem to do jobs I have no interest in, though I have to. Alrighty. I feel you on that, Alex. You are not the only one here that has a job. I'm not implying myself. I love my job, but you're not the only one in this chat that has, or in this conversation that has a job that that you have no interest in. I have definitely been there before. And a few thoughts here. I want to break this down real quick. So first of all, Alex, I'm gonna rephrase what you're saying here. You said, I can't seem to do jobs I have no interest in, though I have to. So here's a reframe of that I learned, which I love using. So anytime you catch yourself using the word have to, change it to get to. So instead of I have to work, it's you get to work. Working is a privilege. Like, you don't have to work. You could not work and, whatever it is, be homeless, not have money, like you get to work. I get to wash the dishes. I get to wash the dishes because I have the freaking privilege of eating off a plate or a bowl or, using silverware. It's just a reframe. Sorry if I'm getting a little bit too technical here. So I want to address both parts of your question, or, the main part of your question, and then mindset wise. So you can't seem to do jobs that you have no interest in. I mean, that makes sense. If you're not interested in a job, you're not interested in a job. You're just, it's boring. It's not meaningful. Like, why would you be interested in it? Besides, I'm guessing you say you have to for the money. That makes sense. And, my encouragement to you, Alex, and anyone else who is in a job they don't like, but they're just there for the money, or whatever it is do what you got to do. Let's say you need money to survive. Do what you got to do. And for the rest of the time, my recommendation to you is on your side, like, have your side hustle going on. Like, focus, make the money that you got to make, but don't focus on, man, I'm at a job that I don't like. If you don't like your job, change it. I'm not saying, look, we're not all in the best financial position or in the right position to change a job all of a sudden, but you get to whatever. I'm going to be a little bit straightforward here. You got to stop complaining about it and do something about it. If you want to do something with your life, do something about it. So work the crappy job that you have no interest in, make your money, and on the side, start working towards your next goal. Start working towards whatever it is, your acting dream, or your owning your own business, or maybe it's transitioning into another job that is maybe a little bit more desirable. So that's what I got. Okay. That will solve your problem. Changing your job will solve your problem in doing a job that you have no interest in. Find a job that you're interested in. Trust me, Alex, I get the conversations. I get, like, I have friends that are very close to me that are in jobs that they absolutely hate, and they're just doing it for the money. And, I have conversations with them all the time. And I have friends who are in jobs they hate, but they're there. They don't make it a big deal because they know the bigger vision. They know that they're not going to be there forever, and they know that they want to move on. And I got friends that are in jobs that they hate, but they choose not to do anything about it, and they just keep complaining about their life. So it's a tough reality. But if you want your life to be better, you got to put in the work for it. And, it starts with taking responsibility for your life. Okay. I say that with love, and not in an attacking way. Okay. Anathox says, hi, Richard. Hi, chat. Good to see you on. Let's see. Emma Chea says, hi, Richard. How do you deal with the pressure of succeeding, especially as a student? That is a big, big question. So, how do we deal with the pressure of succeeding? Oh goodness. This is like this makes I don't know, this hits right here. Like I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pressure of the expectation to succeed. And it's hard. It's hard. Like to all my Asians, Southeast Asians, my Middle Eastern slash Hispanic slash any traditional parents out there, whether you're Caucasian, I don't care who you are, but we got so many parents that have high expectations of us to succeed. And maybe it's not even your parents, maybe it's yourself, maybe it's your classmates, maybe it's siblings or whatever it is. But what I can say is it's not easy. So here's a few things. Oh man, I don't know how to say it. Like being a student is a hot mess. Like that's all I could say. Like it's, I feel like I'm going to point out high school, middle school, high school, maybe even college. I feel like students have the most difficult time ever. As adults have big problems too, but like as a student, it's like you get thrown into this arena where you have no idea what the heck you're doing. You're trying to figure out life. You're trying to figure out how to have a social life, how to have a relationship, how to get good grades, how to apply for college, how to have make money. Like you're trying to figure out all these different things, and it's crazy. So, Emma, let's get to your question. How do you deal with the pressure to succeed? Let's see here. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted by some comments here. Messages. Let's see. So, you deal with the how do you deal with the pressure to succeed? My initial gut reaction or response that I have is I feel like success is so overhyped. Like that, this is my opinion. People are going to disagree with me, but this is my opinion. I think success is so overhyped. Like everyone talks about success. Everyone talks about getting straight A's. We got people in the personal development space. If you're in it, I think some of you know who like Gary Vee or Grant Cardone is. And, these people are great. They're hustling, they're achieving great things. And I believe success is overhyped. Hold on, I don't want to screw up my meaning or my message of what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying don't succeed. I'm not saying don't hustle. um I'm not saying be mediocre. I'm definitely not saying that. I just think that we tend to our expectations are ourselves usually is a mirror of what our parents and society, our peers, our friends expect of us. And I think we get to stop utilizing that as the benchmark of success. And instead, we get to define and create our own benchmark of success. So, Emma and anyone else who's feeling pressure of succeeding, especially as a student, I believe the trick to that is instead of focusing on how other people want you to succeed, create your own expectation. Um, you know, this is so complicated because we're all influenced by our external environment. We're influenced by our parents. We're influenced by our peers' environment. So, Emma, I want you to take this opportunity to just, calm, center yourself for a second. Life is chaotic. Life can be really chaotic, and all these voices, all these thoughts. I want you to just take a pause for a second. Breathe. Whatever. Go for a walk. Go outside. Get away from your environments and just think to yourself, what is your true expectation of yourself? Not what you think your expectation should be, not what other people tell you what success is to you, but what is success to you? You're a student. Let's talk about grades. Maybe your parents' expectations of you are to get straight A's, but what if for you it's like, okay, that's not really realistic for me. I'm getting C's and D's right now. Maybe succeeding to me is getting straight C's or C's and B's. So you got to figure out what is your own expectations and stand by that. Your parents are always going to pressure you. You're gonna get scolded if you don't get straight A's and you're getting B's and C's. So here's kind of my thought around this. When I say, set your own realistic goals for B's and C's, I'm not saying like it's this weird balance. It's like be realistic, do what you can. If you get B's and C's, great. But guess what? Don't limit yourself to B's and C's. But I'm just giving a hypothetical situation. If you're getting C's and D's, and everyone's like, you got to get straight A's, um, you know, realistically, know whatever your capability is. Look at the B's and C's, but don't limit yourself there. Set a goal, B's and C's, but be open and push yourself towards getting straight A's or whatever it is. So a quick example of this is I set a goal for myself by June 8th to book 30 paid speaking gigs. To me, that's historically ridiculous because I've never ever done that my whole entire life. And it scares me. It scares me a lot. 30 speaking gigs is a lot for me. Like it's more fully paid speaking gigs than I ever booked my whole entire career combined. It's like I've done a lot of speeches. But anyway, my point is, so 30 was, 30 to me is that the B's and the C's. It's possible. It's a stretch, but it's a possible. My straight A's to you is, so I have a goal to myself is book 50 speaking gigs, which seems ridiculous, but mindset wise, I'm like, you know what? If I could book 30 speaking gigs, I could book 50. So why not? I don't know if this applies to school as well. If you can get B's and C's, you could probably get A's. So why not? It's a mental thing. I hope that was helpful. I feel like I talked a little bit too much there. Emma, if you have more questions around that, let me know, and I'll do my best to support. Thank you for the questions, by the way. I feel honored. For anyone who's on right now, I feel honored that I have the opportunity to be listened to, as in like you trust my opinion to some extent, to the point that you're actually on asking questions. So that's a privilege to me. And again, everything that comes out of my mouth is just an opinion and based off my own life experiences. So it's up to you if you want to take it or leave it. And that applies to everyone else too. Any kind of thing that comes out of someone's mouth is just an opinion, unless it's scientifically proven, which I think science is also an opinion in its own way too, but it's just a more structured opinion. Okay. Let's see. Avi says, do you practice meditation at all? What are your thoughts on it and any advice if you do practice it? Okay, this is a great question. I'm super glad you're actually asking this question. So this is not the first time I've answered a question about meditation. But what I'll say is has greatly changed over the past few weeks, months. So yes, I do meditate. I meditate every single day. And for anyone who, let's say it doesn't matter if you're doing meditation or you're not doing meditation. I have some kind of interesting thing for myself. So I've been quote unquote, practicing meditation on and off for the past 3-4 years. And for me, I'm just like, man, this meditation thing is not for me. Like it's a waste of time. I can't get focused. And, I did a 10-day meditation retreat where literally for 10 days straight, all I did was sleep, eat, meditate. That's it. And when I say meditate, it was literally from like 6 a.m. in the morning all the way till 9 p.m. at night for 10 days straight. It was painful for me. Like 95% of the time I was at this 10-day meditation retreat in the middle of the desert. You can't talk to anyone. You can't talk to anyone. No cell phone, no technology, no eating meat. Like that whole time, 95% of the time I was in my head. I was not focused in the Zen, the present moment. No, I was very distracted. So, anyway, point here. So what are my thoughts on meditation? I think meditation is great. Here's my thought on it. People will always say things like, meditation, hold on. Meditation is about like the present moment, don't focus on anything else but the present. Just be, or whatever it is. And when I used to try to practice meditation, like when I did the 10-day meditation retreat, I would keep trying to push myself to be present. But meditation is like this relaxing. It's weird. Like you're not going to understand what I'm saying it until you actually do it. Like I hate to say that. I wish I could explain it to you, but it's one of those, you will eventually get it when you do it enough. And it's not even, it's weird. It's like, it's not even just when you do it enough. It's like you'll get it when you get it. You'll just figure it, like, you'll be so frustrated with it that it just makes sense. So here's my journey of it. I used to follow all these guided meditations. You know, I do a 5 minute guided meditation. Sometimes I still do it. I used to try to like sit silently, focus on my breath, like my lungs, exhale. I used to do meditation where you feel all the different um, parts of your body. Like literally, if you know, if you're just chilling here, you're able to, there's sensation all over your body, like on your cheek right now. There's sensation. You might not notice it because you're not being present to it, but there's sensations everywhere on our bodies if you're being present to it. Anyway, so sorry, I need to shorten my answers a little bit. Kushal, good to see you on. So real quick. So my meditation that I do right now, my meditation is about it's about being present. That's I literally you know, thank all the meditation people and, you know, influences that got me to where I am today. It was a massively confusing journey, but literally in order for me to do my own meditation, I had to say screw it all. Like screw structure, stop trying to do what everyone else is doing, and you do you, Richard. Like literally it's started a few weeks ago when I was like, you know what? I don't want, like, I'm tired of listening to all these people doing guided meditations. Like this isn't working for me. I don't get it. I'm confused. It's kind of relaxing, but I'm still in my head. So what I realized is when I do my own process, literally it's like I wake up in the morning, you know, use the restroom, whatever, brush my teeth, drink some water. And then the first thing I do is I set it, I'm like, I talk to Siri, like set timer for 5 minutes, put my phone down, you know, take off my glasses, and I just sit there, you know, in mostly dark. And I keep, how do I say this? I do my best to be present in the moment. It means like focusing on any kind of sensations I feel, which is like, you know, my butt on the chair, um, outside, just anything in this moment. Um, but if you're like me, my mind gets distracted so easily. Like literally, I could be meditating and boom, random thoughts. And it's like don't beat yourself up over this little thought that you have about something else. Just bring it back. You know, anytime it comes back, you're like, okay, whatever. I don't care. You know, just come back slowly, peacefully. And for me, the reason why I meditate consistently is because I realize like a huge part of happiness. Oh man, this sounds so weird saying it because I finally get the point of meditation. It to some extent, not perfectly. Um, what I realize is happiness is now. Happiness is in this present moment. So why I meditate is because meditation creates a practice of stop overthinking everything, stop focusing on the future, stop focusing on your past, stop focusing on, you know, the crappy person that you were, and you know all these stories of like, oh, you know, I'm such a loser or blah blah blah, and stop focusing on the future like, oh my goodness, I have all these things I have to deal with. And meditation for me reminds me, yo, Richard, this moment right now, how you could hear the airplane flying outside, you know, how you could hear your computer fan running, how you can see these lights, how you can feel the little soreness in your like this moment right now is where happiness comes from. Like literally it's stop thinking so much. Just enjoy this moment, you know? I'm going to go back to one of my new favorite phrases by my girl. It's amor fati. Amor fati. It's, is that Latin or Greek? I forgot. Amor, you know, like in Spanish, amor means love, right? Same thing. Fati. Fati is fate. So love of fate. That means, to me, amor fati means stop stressing so much. Like just let things be. You know, trust fate. Let it be. Whatever happens, happens. It doesn't mean to be lazy. You know, amor fati just means everything happens for a reason. You know, so if you fail a test, if you get rejected, you don't get into the school that you want to, you don't get the job that you want. You know, you get rejected by a girl. Like it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, everything happens for a reason. Just accept it. embrace it, let it be. And when you let everything be, you don't worry. It's just like, oh, okay, I didn't get the speaking gig, okay, whatever, it happened for a reason. Why was this in my life? Why did I not get it? I didn't get it because it was here to serve me a lot. Maybe it was a lesson in my life, or give me, teach me something else, or give me another opportunity. That's all it is. Like, amor fati, just love of fate. Let everything just be. So I don't know how to say this. Like, honestly, these past 2 months, I've learned to be more calm. I've learned to just be, just stop stressing out so much. This goes straight back into today's conversation, which is stay focused. Uh, Pretty much like how to stay focused when feeling overwhelmed. Feeling overwhelmed comes from thinking about the future too much. It comes from, like, just how I say this. It just comes from overthinking everything that we have to do. This is why I love the to-do list. Todoist, I'm going to recommend that. Either Google Calendars tasks, or Todoist. I just started using that today. So I know, Adiela, if you're on right now, you know that I mentioned this already. But Todoist is a app/website. It's like to-do list without the L. Okay, so Todoist. It's a to-do list website/app. Like, it's really easy to use. Organized. Like, I've used a lot of how do I say this? A lot of different organizing tools before in the past, and I would say Todoist is pretty organized. Like, I was a little resistant to it because I'm like, I already have my old ways. But once I started using Todoist today, I'm like, okay, I could see, it helps me organize things a little bit better than I do right now, and I think it can be beneficial. So it's easy to use, but there's still a tiny little learning curve, just a tiny one. That's it. But I think it's worth a shot. So I would recommend it. Okay. I see your comments. I'm not ignoring them. I will get to them. I want to wrap up on meditation real quick. So in terms of meditation, yes, I think meditation is great. It's a process. It takes time to learn. So for anyone who's interested in kind of meditation, I want to recap it real quick because I've talked a lot. The recap of meditation, number one is meditation is a great way to just center yourself to the present moment. And for anyone who's not spiritual and you hear present moment, like, be present. That sounds so fluffy BS, spiritual BS. Present, like being present, really just means literally like just like STFU world, like just stop stressing so much about the world and just appreciate this moment. Like, there's so much beauty right now in this moment. So like, happiness comes from this moment right now. Like, that's what I'm learning in my life right now. So there we go. Meditation is great. It's a practice. Take time, be patient. Like, seriously, you don't need to stress so much about not getting meditation right if you're trying to do meditation. Just let it be. It's kind of a sloppy process, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Other people can prove me wrong. Okay, let's see here. Anathox says, I don't know if this is related, but I'm worrying about life after college because I have zero clue of a career where I need school. Okay. Okay, so Anathox, let's talk about this real quick. So you're worrying about life after college because you have zero clue of a career where I need school. What I'm hearing you say is that it almost sounds like you have ideas of what you want to do, and that does not require school. I think we talked about this too before, one-on-one before. But honestly, here's the thing about school. So higher education, college/universities, I don't know the exact statistics or the percentage, but I want to say a huge majority of people who go to college and university go to college/university because that's what they were told to do. It was what my mom or my dad or my school, my education system told me to do. Hey, go to college. It'll give you more opportunities. Here's the thing. Here's my thought, and it's going to piss some people off. That's okay. My thought is, Anathox, if you want to do a career that has nothing to do with your education, so be it. Like, my suggestion for you is follow your passion, follow your bliss, follow your heart. And don't worry if it had anything to do with your school. Amor fati. Like literally, um, if you are passionate about something, my thought on this would be like, again, amor fati, love of fate. It's like, hey, you know what, amor fati. I went to school for 4 years. It was kind of useless, but I did it anyway, and this is what I got out of it. Maybe it didn't directly help me become a better graphic designer because I didn't study graphic design. I was studying I was studying economics. And I'm like, I don't want to do economics. So just let it be. Your parents are going to hate me for saying this because they're like, no, you got a degree in economics, go do economics. No, like if you don't want to do economics, don't waste your life doing economics. Go do something that you want to do. Like this is one of those times where we're going to be like, yo, this is my life. I don't want to do economics. Economics is pretty boring. I'm going to go do my own thing. Like life, I don't know, life is too short. Like, I'm sorry, traditional Asian parents / any other traditional parents, but life is too short to be doing something that's you don't want to be doing. Like seriously, there's I think a lot of us can relate. So for any students out there, let's say any of you wanted to go travel. Um, man, this is a tricky conversation. So let's say you just want to go travel after you graduate. Go travel. People are okay. Look, I'm just one opinion. You're going to listen to me or you're going to listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, who has millions of subscribers and followers. This guy's a big deal. If you don't know who Gary Vee is, I think Gary Vee is incredible. He's an incredible guy. What is Gary Vee going to tell you to do? I think he says like skip out on the vacations, hustle. When you're young, you got to hustle, grind, grow your business. And what is that? Whatever people say, invest, save up money, build up your retirement accounts, all that stuff. I think that is great advice. I'm not saying don't do that. But also it's like life is now like balance too. Like if you want to go travel, but at the same time, hustle too, like whatever, start building up your business or, do something. It's tricky. It's a balance. Okay. I gotta hop off pretty soon, but I will read the remainder of these comments and go with that. But first of all, Onathox, I want to wrap up your. I want to make sure I don't leave any loose ends with your comment. Let's see. If you got zero clue on a career that you want, honestly, there's a few paths here. Follow. Sorry, Onathox, Jake. Sorry, it's been a while. Jake, what was it? The video stuff? Is that what we're doing? Please forgive me for not remembering. Anyway, if you want to do video stuff, I believe that was you. If you want to do video stuff, go do video stuff. Go do what you're passionate about. If you don't know what you're passionate about, like just trust yourself, like figure things out, try new things out, and eventually you'll get there. Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Avi says, look into trade school. If you aren't in college already, they tend to line up jobs for you. That's another option. Let's see. Okay. I see conversations back and forth. Onathox says, you mentioned your friends who hate their jobs, but do you try to help them in some ways? Yeah. So this is a great question. The question is, do I try to help my friends who hate their jobs in some ways? Yes, I do, to a certain point. So what I'm learning is, there's the saying that goes, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't force it to drink. So for those of you who don't know about the phrase, the point is, you can lead someone towards a certain direction, but if they don't want to drink the water, if they don't want to take action, then you can't do anything about it. So as a human being, as a good friend, I'm going to do my best to help guide my friends who are kind of lost in the right direction, with their permission. I'm not going to force anyone. And if they don't want to, if they want to live in their own ways, then it is what it is. Like I know that I did my best. And guess what? There's nothing wrong. If they want to live their life in the way that they're living, perfect. Whatever makes them happy. And if they're happy being unhappy, they're content or whatever, they're struggling, but it's their choice. At least it's their choice. I would rather it be their choice and they're struggling versus it be my choice and they're not happy. but they're pursuing whatever. So that was a little bit of a good sounding statement I just said. That's not, there's some holes in the way I'm saying it, but I hope that's helpful. Let's see. Denise. Denise, please. Denise says, you barely talk to me on Instagram. Kind of mad at you. What? You barely talking to me, Denise? What's going on with that? How do you expect me to talk to you if you're not talking to me? Are you ghosting me? Let's see. I'm not on Instagram very much, but like I'm not. I'm a busy man. If you have questions, I'll answer them. If you're looking for a companion and someone to just chat with once in a while, I'll say hello. I can't promise a full-on conversation all the time, though. All right. Fling H says, Richard, what are your honest opinions when people say hard work beats talent? I have seen that. I've seen some insanely talented people, and I'm starting to doubt the validity of that phrase. Let's see. Okay. Ooh, Fling, that's a really, really good question. I like this question a lot. So, again, what's my honest opinion on hard work beats talent? So, how do I say this? I think this statement has both sides. It's a double-edged sword. It's I believe in some cases, yes, hard work definitely does beat talent, but guess what? Talent also beats hard work. So here's my thought on this. Hard work beats talent in the way that it's, to me, the phrase to me means, like, let's say you see someone who's really, really talented and you're trying to work your butt off to be better, whatever, let's say be better than this person. I believe that's a powerful mindset to have. This idea of, like, you know what, this person is really talented, but guess what? I could outwork them. And if you feel like you could outwork them and be a better person that way, awesome, great, do it. Overall, even if, like, let's take comparing ourselves with other people out of the equation. I believe hard work beats talent is a great philosophy in the way that when we have a great work ethic, when we work really hard, and we will start feeling confident, proud of ourselves. Our self-esteem will go up, a very healthy kind of self-esteem. It'll be like, hey, you know what? I love myself. I'm so grateful that I'm in integrity with myself. That self-integrity that says, you know what? I worked hard. I'm happy for that. That's gonna make you feel great. Okay. Now, I'm kind of twisting. So that's part A. The other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is hard work beats talent. I want to twist this phrase a little bit to mean the phrase work smarter, not harder. Okay. So in this case, talent is a little bit like working smarter in this case. So I'm a huge believer, like, don't just work to be busy, work to be productive. Okay. So again, today, this is going straight back into the conversation of feeling overwhelmed. Today I felt overwhelmed because I had so many things to do. And I realized, Richard, stop trying to do everything. Focus your attention on what really matters. Focus on the bigger picture. Focus on the things that matter. So work smarter, not harder. Okay, I'm kind of changing up the statement here, but yes, please don't just focus on working hard. Hustle. Be smart about it. If you notice that you're doing so much, how can you be more efficient? How do you focus on tasks that are more important to you? There is a great. Oh, sorry about that. Oh boy. Sorry about that. I had alarm go off. I got to make a call soon, so I got to hop off in like two minutes. So, work smarter, not harder. What do I have here? Oh, there's the 80-20 rule. So, the 80-20 rule is 80% of, how do I say this? 80% of your work, the things that matter, can be done in 20%. of the time. Just Google search 80-20 rule and you'll see it. Like it's a beautiful concept. And the point is, don't waste your time trying to hit 100% of everything. Finish 80% because 80% is a lot easier. Because the last 20% is going to be like overwork. Just read it. Like it'll make more sense if you read it and maybe watch some videos on it. Okay, 80-20 rule. It's a very popular tool. Okay, so I got to get going soon. Let me see here. Christine, I see your comments. Overwhelmed, more overwhelmed than ever. How coincidental. So for Christine and anyone else, here's my quick tip. If you're feeling overwhelmed, and how do you stay focused and not feel that anxiety? If you're overwhelmed, my short thing is calm down. Okay, like seriously, like just let go of the anxiety. Put everything into a to-do list of everything that you need to do, and do one thing at a time. Focus on one task. One task means like literally it's set a timer. Pomodoro method is 25 minutes. So set a timer for whatever, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, where all you do is you just study. You just do this one task. That's it. Not task number 2, not 3. Don't check your messages. Just do one task until you complete it. Okay. So search Pomodoro method. Okay. I will recommend that to you. And anyone else who is overwhelmed, one task at a time. Okay, that's what I have. And yep, Christine, you can watch the live stream. I would say I get into about staying focused and not feeling the overwhelmed probably about 5 to 10 minutes into the stream. So just for reference, so you don't have to watch the first 5 minutes or so. Okay, let's see. Johnny Alexis, also some people can talented at something they don't necessarily like. That's true. People can be talented at things that they might necessarily not like. Yep, Fling, you're welcome for the live stream. Hey everyone, I'm so grateful to have these conversations. Today was a great stream. Sorry I got to hop off right now. I have a call in about 2 minutes, so I'm going to jump on that call. Lots of love to all of you. Tomorrow is Tuesday, which means I will be streaming tomorrow as well. Okay, have a good night, everyone, and let's see, Kevin, I see your comment. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I got to hop off right now. But thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And have a wonderful evening. Okay? Lots of love. Bye. Thank you. Appreciate you all. Seriously.